Welcome to this next episode of YouTube, where we're transitioning to a quieter wolf yard, and that means less public programs, more opportunity for the wolves to just kind of hang out, and we'll see Denali doing a raised leg urination here, and followed by a scrape, again showing a little bit of status. So Denali's and Aiden's winter coats are coming in fairly well. Grizzer's coat is really coming in, and Shadow and Malik are kind of a little bit delayed. They do have a later shed period, so they do have a later growth period for that winter coat. But the winds, again, this fall have been a little bit interesting. As the temperatures get a little bit warm, we get a lot of unstable air and a lot of wind, and so you see the wolves really sniffing and picking up scents and trying to get a sense of what's whirling around up in the upper atmosphere and dropping scents down. It's very hard for animals to determine which direction something's coming from, so that might lead to some of the nervousness. But for the most part, everybody's pretty calm. Aiden, again, is responding very well this fall to be a very relaxed wolf, and continues to show associative behavior with Oscar at the fence and very positive social interactions. Denali is also interacting with Oscar, but sometimes it becomes a little bit more agonistic and a little bit more testing. So those two still have a little bit of issues to work out, but Oscar holds it up his own through the fence, hightail, doesn't really take a lot of grief from Denali. And the interesting thing is Aiden and Denali could be standing next to each other. Oscar is completely relaxed with Aiden and shows a growl at Denali, and then when he turns his head back to Aiden, it's back to a calm interaction. So that's interesting that he picks up the dynamics of those two individuals and the energy of those individuals, with Denali being a little bit more agonistic. Life in Grizzer's enclosure is going well. He does like the den. The den is a high vantage point for him, so he climbs on and off the den, and he likes to go back and forth to be able to see staff as they come into the front of the area and come and greet them, or as they come to the back area to greet them. But a majority of the interactions right now for wolf care staff when they go in are from up on the den, and he, likes that opportunity. He's taller than wolf care staff in there, so that might give him a little bit of confidence, and certainly something we want to watch if he starts to take advantage of that. But so far, things are going well. During the warmer parts of the day, he will find a lot of cool spots. We've got a lot of good sand, a lot of good area, a lot of cover in these two areas, so he definitely has no problems. You can see the skin is completely healed. Now we're just waiting for hair growth, so things are doing well for that. We'll see. It'll take a while for that hair to grow. Over in retirement, as I said, Shadow was picking up some scents in the air, and what was interesting is you'll hear him do a lone howl here, but nobody else responds. So he, again, picks up a scent and lets out a howl. What's interesting about the fact that no one else responded, again, there appears to be a different tone, communicating different expressions, and the rest of the pack seems to figure out when Shadow's just dealing with something external to the enclosure and then don't join in, versus when he's communicating within the pack. So that it is interesting. You see him again pick up the scent, sniff that scent in the air, and then respond to it. And one thing we do notice about Shadow, he does not like the camera in his face, so you can see his ears pricked. He's aware, but he's turned to the side there. So ear postures are a very important clue to the behavior of an individual wolf. And as I say, the camera has the potential to cause some anxiety, because there is a round circle that looks like an eye. Direct eye contact is a way to intimidate another wolf, and so when a camera is focused right on them, it can make them a little bit intimidated, and we see that intimidation by the ears to the side and going back. Now Malik normally is a little intimidated, and here he is going to share the den with Shadow. Shadow let out a little growl there when he got up on the top of the den, letting him know that he's got his claim space. So Malik tries to find a place to lay down that's kind of on the edge. And these two are together a lot, but certainly there's possessive rights on the dens, and so you will see, again, Malik showing a little bit more subordinate behavior, although Shadow, showing the ears pricked and turned to the side, is definitely not comfortable with the situation. I think he's much more comfortable if he gets a place to himself, but that's not a reality when you share your enclosure with your pack mate. So the ear posture between these two is kind of interesting. As we said before, we will see a little bit of asserted dominance where Shadow is asserting some posture. Malik's doing a little bit of testing and maybe posturing over him, but for the most part, these two are very compatible. They don't really have any issues, even though the ear postures look like they prefer to be a loner when it comes to the top of the den. Another interesting thing we've seen, and you'll hear this clip here, when Oscar went for a walk, Grizzer laid and howled until Oscar came back. So that is an interesting new development. We always knew Grizzer was keyed into Oscar. That's the first time he ever let out a greeting howl. Now the other first that we've had is Oscar started to try to howl with the pack. Now, of course, he's a domesticated dog, and domesticated dogs have seemed to have a juvenile form of communication, this repetitive barking. I didn't get it on film, but he did actually howl with them. What's interesting is typically barking for wolves is a sign of aggression. These wolves here are just howling right with Oscar, or allowing him to howl and show no intimidation. So that's what's going on in the wolf yard. Like I say, less programs. We just finished up a big series of programs last week, and things will be calming down. Calmer wolves, winter coats, a lot of wind, a lot of sniffing, some dominance in retirement, but overall pretty relaxed, good conditions. So thanks for watching.